Hi guys, I'm Alex. I'm an expat living here in Paris and I'm here to talk about, is Paris really as expensive as people say it is? Even after living here for a short amount of time, I can confirm that, hell yes, it's expensive. However, if you do your homework and you plan ahead of time, you can really lower your expenses. So guys, here are 7 strategies that will help you keep your wallet alive and well while living in this beautiful yet expensive city. So food, probably everybody's biggest expense, aside from rent. And here, the best way to save money is just buying your food in big batches. Go to the supermarket, big supermarket chains, and try to really plan out at least a week's worth of food in advance in this chain. So here we have Lidl, Carrefour, Franprix, and Monoprix as the big supermarket chains that you can most easily find. And here is where you're really going to save some money. So, as much as the notion of going to the, fromagerie for cheese and the boulangerie for bread is really romantic and really the French ideal, it's also really expensive. On that note, it's actually quite important to mention that the order of supermarket chains in terms of expensive is, I think, Lidl would be the cheapest one you can find, followed by Carrefour, the big Carrefour, not Carrefour Express, and then Franprix, and really the most expensive being Monoprix. So if you have the choice of supermarkets near where you live, you would probably want to go in that order. And another thing you really want to take advantage of is a lot of the discounts that you can find in apps. So for example, a really good one is a Too Good To Go, and just as the name implies, it's basically anything, let's say, of fruits or veggies that are just too good to go. They're about to expire, so they can't have them in the store any longer, but they can sell them to you for a very reduced price. And I mean, you can have an entire box of, groceries that would normally be €20 for $4.99 and, eat very well for the next couple days. The only thing being that, of course, you have to eat the food quite fast, but it's a great way to save quite a bit of money. Continuing with the lunch menu, if you are going to eat out, and of course it's always cheaper to eat at home, but everybody likes eating out, and if you are going to do so, then try the Prix Fixe Menu, the lunch menu, where you can get a 2 or 3 course meal for a reduced price. It's a lot cheaper and you can find it basically everywhere if you're going to go for lunch. Another great thing to do is just grabbing your food in any market. Paris is really a food market city. You can find them scattered around the city, and just grab a baguette, grab some nice meat, some nice cheese, and make yourself a sandwich, or just buy a sandwich in the market or in a boulangerie and eat it outside. Eat it in a beautiful park, eat it in some bench, and it's really a great thing to do. You can really live up the city, as well as it can really save you some money. Also, now with COVID, there's very few restaurants open. I mean, you have to eat outside, so you might as well save yourself some money, grab a nice baguette, and go to Les Jardins du Luxembourg or some other beautiful park that I'm probably mispronouncing, and enjoy the day, enjoy the sights, and keep your wallet happy. Where to live? I guess if you're moving to Paris, that's one of the things you really want to consider, because rent can be quite expensive. However, there are some areas of the city that are a little bit cheaper than the rest, and these are the arrondissements that are a little bit cheaper are the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, and the 18th. So you might want to take those into consideration if you are going to move here. Just bear in mind though that them being cheaper doesn't mean they're cheap. So if you're coming from basically, except London and some other cities that are equally as expensive as Paris, they're probably gonna seem ridiculous as well. At least they seemed like that to me when I moved here, but after making a little bit of market research and finding out the prices of other arrondissements. I live in the 13th right now. Yeah, these ones are a tad bit cheaper and they can really help you out if you are moving here. So something you can also consider is just living in the suburbs around Paris. So something I wasn't aware of when I moved here is that Paris is kind of downtown. There's so many suburbs that surround the city and that are so very well connected to it that it really doesn't mean that you're super far removed from city life if you do choose to live in one of these places. And they are, or they, at least most of them are, a little bit cheaper at least than actually living in central Paris. So some of the ones that I think are really cool are Les Valois-Perret, it's really nice, very well connected, Montrouge, and Saint-Ouen. Speaking of Saint-Ouen, did you know that's the place of the biggest flea market in the world? I mean, come on. If you're going to live in Paris, you might as well take advantage of the many antiquaries, I don't know if this is how you say it, but of many vintage stores you can find scattered across the city. But especially take advantage of the flea markets, and especially the flea market at Saint-Ouen. It's over 7 hectares in length. It has hundreds of thousands of vendors, and you can find everything in there. And certainly, of course, there are things that are even more expensive there because they are valuable antiques than if you were to get them, I don't know, in IKEA or something like this. But you can find some amazing treasures in there. And if you just, dive deep, you can find glory for very low prices. It's worthwhile noting that even though we are right now in the middle of a pandemic, COVID is around, the market is still opened right now. It's opened Saturday, Sunday, and Monday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I believe from 11 a.m. on Mondays. So you can still go now and take advantage, find some awesome furniture that nobody else will have, and that'll probably cost you like 1/10 of the price if you are just willing to put up a little bit of renovating and refurbishing. So yeah, go there. Let's talk about transportation. So of course, definitely use the metro, but before we get to that, let me just say that you can really walk here everywhere. I mean, it's a big city, but if you plan your day well, you can really get to point A and point B by just walking. Especially now with the pandemic, so many of us are doing our work remotely, doing our work at home, that if you're just going to be walking around your arrondissement or going maybe to the next arrondissement, you can really just walk and it's going to save you some serious money. I know I did the math and how much I was saving if I was walking instead of always grabbing the metro, and it turned out that it's cheaper than actually just grabbing the monthly metro pass. I know this is especially true for the pandemic and it's not the case always, but just keep that in mind. However, getting to the metro, it's a great system. It's one of the most complete metro systems in the world by far. It has 14 lines, which is crazy, at least for me. I'm from Panama, it's a small country. We just inaugurated our metro and we have I think 2 lines. And I used to live in Prague where there's 3 metro lines, and I mean the metro system there is absolutely great, but there's only 3. Here there's 14 and you can get basically anywhere in the city with it. So definitely use it. Here you have the Navigo Pass. It's about €80 per month, which is quite okay, I know, compared to many places around the world. And you can use it to go all around Paris. It can also get you to some cities close to Paris, and it includes some other transportation as well, like buses, for example, you can use with your monthly pass. It's unlimited and it's really a good option if you have to go to work, if you're going to be moving a lot around the city. Definitely use that instead of using Uber, for example, or a cab. It's a great way to save money. If you don't want to use the Metro Pass, you can always use just single-use tickets. And if you do so, it's always good to buy the 10 ticket kind of combo. It's a little bit cheaper, maybe like €2 cheaper than getting 11 tickets or 9 tickets, but it's still some savings and it's Another option you can do is using Velib, the bike system, which is very complete. They're scattered all around Paris and they're super easy to use and super affordable. Velib has 20,000 bikes actually around Paris, which is great. They have about 1,800 stations scattered around. So you can basically find them anywhere and they're quite cheap. The prices range from €1.90 per single use, or you can just get the weekly pass and it's about €8. And I mean, you do exercise and you get from point A to point B quite fast as well. So highly recommend. And I didn't know this until I saw Zac Efron's documentary or series in Netflix, Down to Earth. So, I mean, maybe you saw that there too, but hey, there's free water and safe water drink all around Paris. There's over 800 water fountains scattered throughout the city, and you can find them via the app of de l'eau de Paris, which I will link here. And yeah, you can even find carbonated water here. I think it's magnificent. Just remember to carry around a reusable water bottle and you're good to go. Cheap and eco-friendly. And isn't that amazing? So yeah, since the early 2000s, this has been going on and it's been super popular. So popular that 20 years later, it's still going on. And yeah, there's huge museums that take part of this initiative, like the Musée du Louvre and the Musée d'Orsay, and many more. So make sure to put a little star next to that first Sunday of the month and take advantage of those museums. Just important to note though that the lines are usually quite long that first Sunday, so make sure that you start the queue really early and really take advantage of the entire day. And that's it for me, guys. I hope you found these tips helpful, and please let me know which one you'll be trying first. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!